So I tried to set you up perfectly for that, and you did not catch on, presumably.
No, no, I caught on. I got it. I'm
But you
good.
just decided it was not good content.
No, it's just I start the episode at random intervals of time. Not intervals, at a
The
random
fact that
interval.
the fact that I was planning it meant you could not morally start it at
I
that
couldn't.
point
I could not allow this YouTube video to start
when it was expected to start, even if you're
when you
playing it
wanted it to
that
start.
way,
I started it when I wanted to.
which was already as we had this conversation, I presume.
Yeah, no, it started at this
Oh,
point.
cool. Great.
They'll just never know what we were talking about. It's fine.
Nope, nothing. And
Anyway,
I don't want to even put the effort in to fix the tier list, so I'm just gonna pretend that it's fixed and try not to be mad about the stars. Um,
see these people, the listeners, the watchers, the viewers.
don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, they
Maybe they'll
don't.
know. Maybe they'll know. Maybe just by the vague context clues I gave, they'll sympathize with my problem, which I won't go into. But Colo Chew YouTube video, let's go!
All right, we're gonna rank Pokemon games, main series games, no side games, just main series. Because I'm very surprised that I have not done this yet. But anyway, red and blue.
So red and blue, I've been a little bit fuming lately, because I've seen some tier lists of this caliber on a Pokemon Facebook group that I'm a part of. That's something I've done recently. I just joined a bunch of like Pokemon and Power Rangers Facebook groups so I can scroll through Facebook and just have discourse about Pokemon and Power Rangers because that's what I want to do with my life. So I've been seeing these types of tier lists on the Pokemon Facebook groups, and everybody puts Gen 1 in bottom tier, and I'm sick of it. Okay? Listen, it's rough around the edges. We get it. The code is held together with duct tape and Elmer's glue. But it's just a good, fun, charming game. It began the franchise we all love. The selection of the original 151 Pokemon are some of the most iconic Pokemon there are. The location of Kanto may not be exactly as impressive as some other regions, but I think it gets the job done. I think the gym leaders are iconic. I think Red and Blue, they don't deserve to be top tier. The criticisms are valid. Like, they are old, they are outdated. But I think they have a lot of charm, and I think that at least earns them B tier.
You said B tier?
Yes.
Alright, I never touched them, so B tier is fair.
And yellow too, because there's virtually no difference between red, blue, and yellow besides like graphical and Pikachu.
That's fair. Alright, gold and silver, Johto.
S tier, S tier, S tier. Let's go. Gold, silver, crystal, all S tier right now, boys. The best games in the series. I don't care what all the fucking Zoomers are saying nowadays. All this negative Johto discourse. Fuck all of you. You're all wrong. Gold, silver, and crystal are the best games in the series by far. What do you think, Colo?
I never played them.
Really? Well, you gotta take my word for it then. S tier.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I've not played Gen 1 or 2 except for remakes, so my opinions start coming in now.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have some opinions, buddy.
S tier. Ruby Sapphire, S tier. Ah, no. A tier.
Hey,
A tier. A tier. A tier.
listen. Here's what I'll accept. I know you love them, so I won't be a stickler. This is your tier list. Usually
Okay.
usually I'm like, oh, we have to average the two things together. I'm not gonna be that rude to your favorite game. I personally have a lot of problems with the Gen 3 games. I just don't like the gameplay loop. I don't like the art style. I don't like the region design. I like the Pokemon a lot, but that's about all it does for me. I know you want to put Emerald in S tier and Ruby and Sapphire in A. So what I will accept is one tier down for each. Emerald gets A, Ruby and Sapphire gets B.
Ruby and Sapphire gets B, Emerald gets S.
No, because I want to put Emerald in like fucking D. So
Emerald,
accept
look,
A.
okay. I'll accept A for both.
That's Yeah, I guess Ruby and Sapphire are fine. They don't have any significant downplays from their third version, much like another one that we'll talk about soon. I'm willing to put them both in A.
Look, so Ruby and Sapphire were the games that got me into Pokemon. They were my first Pokemon games, so it's heavily nostalgia based. Heavily. They're not great games, and like I could probably move them down to B tier. Emerald, I have probably like 500 hours on Emerald because it was that good of a game back then. It was the only one I had access to before I got a DS, so I just constantly played Emerald. It's also the first game where I discovered in-game cheats and
Oh
started
shit, dog.
and it's only in Emerald in the Battle Frontier. You can duplicate Pokemon in game.
Oh yeah, I know about the fucking duplication glitch.
Yeah, I took it. I took full advantage of that. I duplicated so many Pokemon. It was so fun. I've got like 4 or 5 Rayquazas sitting on my original Emerald copy, and it's great. So
That's fair.
I'll accept A and B.
Okay. They can be. I guess Ruby and Sapphire can be above Red, Blue, and Yellow if that is what your heart desires.
That is fair. Yeah. Um.
Fire Red and Leaf Green. Hey, I got a hot take for you, and I do not think the Colo2 agrees with me, or actually, she can't disagree or agree with me because she has not played the originals. I actually prefer the originals over Fire Red and Leaf Green. It's a hot take, but I think the way they remade it kind of feels so procedural that it kind of drains the charm out of it. Like they're still good games in a vacuum, but like if I'm gonna pick up Kanto again, if it's not Let's Go, which we'll get to Let's Go, it's gonna be Red, Blue, and Yellow because like I just don't get as invested in Fire Red and Leaf Green. It just does not feel. I do not feel the same magic when playing Fire Red and Leaf Green that I feel playing Red, Blue, and Yellow, and I think that makes them inherently less worthful than Red, Blue, and Yellow. So I would make a strong argument for them to go in C or D.
I feel like it was a good improvement on the first generation. Um. Because like I've seen people play the first generation. I've seen clips and stuff of what the first generation was. I've never picked it up just because I'm a spoiled piece of shit, and
Fair.
I got spoiled with Ruby and Sapphire right off the bat. So anything less was like,
The fact that you haven't played the first two games makes me more determined than ever to just convince you and Penguin to do a Nuzlocke World Tour with me. Like I've had that thought many times throughout the years. Never have I been more determined than when just now I found out you've never played Gen 1 or 2.
I mean, like I picked it up. I've never like fully played through. I probably got to like maybe Brock and then was like, nah, I'm good, and then went and played something with color and
Yeah,
better
I mean,
graphics.
Red and Blue can have color. You just gotta have a Game Boy Color file instead of a Game Boy file. Or play it on your real Game Boy Color, of course, would be actually what I mean. I would never encourage the devil's
I
software.
was just about to say, yeah, no, we don't talk about the devil's software here.
Oh no 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 no! We certainly do not. So anyway, so where do you want to put them? I would actually accept if you want to put them like in a decent tier. I would accept B tier right below Red, Blue, and Yellow.
That's exactly where I put them. Right
Okay,
below red, blue, yellow, B tier.
sounds good to me.
Diamond and Pearl.
Diamond and Pearl are D tier. I'm sorry. Listen, hey, hold on.
I
Before people flip
hold
out, let
on.
me explain myself. Let
No,
me
no, no, no,
explain
no, no.
myself, and then I'll let you
Let me
go.
tell you where I would have put mine.
Okay.
I was gonna put them in C.
That is, I guess, fair to an extent. But here's the thing about Diamond and Pearl. The unfortunate truth about Diamond and Pearl, not that they're, if you look at them purely in a vacuum, perhaps they are not awful games. However, they are riddled with flaws that make it less appealing. And those flaws are literally all fixed in Platinum, which makes Diamond and Pearl, in my opinion, in the modern era, literally zero reason to even exist, which is why I am very harsh on them and would like them to be bottom tier personally.
I'll put them at C just because I put a lot of time and effort into like
They
playing
can be
them.
C as long as nothing else that goes in C goes below them.
We'll probably move them down eventually because I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
But
see what happens.
Platinum S tier.
Platinum S tier. Hey guys, Platinum, very good video game. Below Gold, Silver, and Crystal, I would say. But S tier for certain.
Absolutely. Platinum, absolutely amazing. Definitely, it definitely feels like an improvement on what Diamond and Pearl should have been.
Yes, it literally like Diamond and Pearl were like, hey, awesome region, awesome story, terrible Pokedex, terrible speed. And they were like, what's that? Criticisms that we've received? Let's fix them, which is wild in this current year of 2023, considering
See, that's also
what
crazy when you compare it to Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Emerald didn't really change much outside of Ruby and Sapphire, except
well, yeah, but that's because Ruby
integrate.
and Sapphire were actually fully finished and good video games.
Yeah, but Platinum went and added a whole ass thing for Giratina, and
True,
that
the
was
whole Garatina story, they added the battle frontier. Not just did they fix the issues, but they added a whole bunch of new awesome features too. Platinum, in my opinion, very good. Like I said, below Gold, Silver, and Crystal personally. I don't know if you're going to go by that or not, Colo. But
I'll leave Gold, Silver, Crystal up there. That's fair.
hell yeah.
However,
But yeah.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver S tier above the originals.
No, though, because
It's
I
a
have
massive
very
improvement
I have
because
similar
you have
problems.
Pokemon following you.
That
Because
is
you have Pokemon
true.
following you. You get your shiny variants. They have somewhat of a size thing. Size
Okay.
differences.
For this reason, I will succumb because following Pokemon is fucking rad.
They
But I
introduced
will
they
say for the
introduced the little
record,
Pokewalker thing where you could take your Pokemon out of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, put them in your little pocket, and walk around with them and level them up on the go. It was so cool back then. It was like Pokemon Go, but it wasn't.
I'm willing to go along with this. However, I will just say for the record, I usually put Heart Gold Soul Silver a little bit lower than this, not even just down to A tier. I would say B. They are good, again, good in a vacuum, but I feel like the real reason why they don't feel as special to me and why I don't think they were developed with as much special care as Gold, Silver, and Crystal is because when they made Gold, Silver, and Crystal, or Gold and Silver at least, they thought it was over. Like they thought that was it. Like that was going to be their last game. And they definitely developed it with that in mind, and it turned out to be this amazing product that if Pokemon had ended there, it would be a great legacy. And Heart Gold and Soul Silver were produced as, oh, we got to do another remake this year, guys. We got to make millions of more dollars real quick. Let's just
Yeah,
make it
but like
Toto again.
Heart Gold and Soul
And
Silver is the purest definition of what a remake should be.
I think the purest definition of what a remake should be is another game that we'll get to soon, which no matter which one I'm talking about, I'm sure Koloju disagrees. But we'll get there. Uh,
Yeah, but like Heart Gold and Soul Silver was like the thing where it was like that solidified Pokemon making remakes. Because
that's
Fire Red
fair.
and
I
Leaf
think
Green
they're
was like,
definitely a better
hey,
product than Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Fire Red and Leaf Green was like, hey, Ruby and Sapphire did really, really well. What if we took what we did here, but did it with Kanto with Red and Blue, and it worked, but it felt like a port, not a remake. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It was more
I would
so just a
agree that
remaster than a remake.
I would agree that Heart Gold and Soul Silver are more successful in this task that you're describing than Fire Red and Leaf Green,
Yeah,
for sure.
Heart Gold Soul Silver solidified the idea of the Pokemon Company and Game Freak doing remakes of the old games.
Yeah,
Because if Heart Gold
I
and
would
Soul
agree.
Silver tanked or was just like an update in graphics like Fire Red Leaf Green was, I don't think remakes would be such a big deal nowadays.
Honestly, as I revisit Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I haven't gotten the chance to do a full revisit yet because I lost like 1 hour of progress in my Soul Silver file and then never played it again because that's the kind of guy I am. If I lose any amount of progress, I just will never play the video game again. But I got like 7 gyms in a very recent playthrough of Soul Silver, and like it is good. I think I could probably be swayed. I've had like negative opinions just because I want to I think make it clear that I think the Gold, Silver, and Crystal are better, like definitively better. But I could be talked into Heart Gold and Soul Silver being right below them. I would argue probably also below Platinum at the very least. But I could see Heart Gold and Soul Silver deserving S tier.
Heart
So
Gold
it's
and
gonna
Soul
be
Silver was the first instance of where I actually got my first legitimate shiny Pokemon too.
that's pretty sick. I got my first in Crystal, and that Mareep was the coolest Flash Slave I ever had.
So my very first shiny Pokemon that I found, like full odds random encounter, right?
Yeah.
Was was a shiny Voltorb on one of the Pokeballs in the overworld that you click on, like that you like talk to, over in the power plant in Kanto.
Ah, okay.
That little boy came up blue, and I freaked the fuck out. He's still sitting in there. I have not.
Guys, my Pokemon's blue. What's going on? Oh, it's a glitch. Just reset your game. Cool, thanks.
But like, I will always remember my first shiny. I have like hundreds of shinies at this point,
That's fair. I mean,
but you always
I'm
remember
not
your
gonna
first
cry
one.
over Johto remaining at the top, even if it is Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So on this tier list, definitely makes sense. I will just say that if I were the one driving right now, it would at least be below Platinum. But I'm totally cool with it being an S tier. I'm totally cool with it being at the top in your video here.
Black and white.
Now this is where our opinions also
All
differ. You seem to have a problem with these
right.
great Pokemon video games called Pokemon Black and White.
So my interest in Pokemon dropped off after Diamond and Pearl, or I guess after Platinum. I didn't play Platinum until much later. But so what happened was I started getting older. Not all of my friends weren't playing Pokemon anymore, so I just kind of lost interest up until about Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. So I missed like 4 games.
But did you play Black and White at all, or did you just like say no, and now you spread
So
negative opinions about this game you've never
the
played?
reason I have negative feelings about Black and White is because Black and White is the game I chose to try and get back into Pokemon. However,
Um,
Black and White got overshadowed by the fact that once I beat it, I immediately moved on to X and Y and or S.
that is more than fair, because I do
So
have strong positive feelings about these next few games. Spoilers. But I will
alone, it is a
say,
very good game. It is very very cool to see like the transition to 3D graphics here a little bit, coming from Diamond and Pearl Platinum to Black and White. It's a massive
it's
step up.
it's outdated, I know. But
But
for the time, and I think still in a novelty sense, beautiful game.
oh, absolutely, the changing of the seasons was so cool, very cool. But like the only reason I have like mixed feelings about Black and White is because I didn't actually have first interaction with it where it was Black and White is the game to be playing. When I played Black and White, the game to be playing was ORAS.
That's fair. So I would argue Black and White are very good games. I think the Pokédex is actually masterful. It gets a lot of shit, but I think all the Pokemon that people complain about are actually great and they're wrong about them. And there's just so many. It's the biggest Pokédex we've ever had. First of all, the biggest introduction of new Pokemon we've ever had in the franchise. And I think all of them are very well designed. It was designed to be a soft reboot. These were designed to be like, these are the Pokemon because you couldn't catch old ones. And I think they did it very well. They created a diversity in the Pokemon world in a unique way where they were kind of filling tropes they had already filled because, like I said, soft reboot, they were the only Pokemon. So now when they make new games, they have like a choice. When they like, I want to put a bat in a cave. Instead of being like, okay, well, here's Zubat for the 94th time, they could be like, I could put Zubat here, or I could put Woobat here. And it's like, and it creates this diversity of like, if you want X species in X place in a new game, you kind of have a choice between the old shit and the Unova shit because it was designed to be like a back to basics. Like this could be the only Pokemon, and that would be acceptable and not feel weird. And I think the plot is exemplary as compared to Pokemon games usually. And I think it has a lot of good merit, a lot of good music, a lot of memorable characters. The gym leaders do more in the story than they ever have before or since, besides maybe like Sword and Shield now. Like they were kind of involved, I guess, in the post game. I think Black and White, they're not top tier games for me by any means. In fact, they're kind of bottom half when I just rank Generations as a whole. But they're very good. I would argue at least above Fire Red and Leaf Green. If you're willing to grant me that.
That's fine.
Okay.
Black and White
I
2
think I
go
prefer
wherever
Gen
you
1.
would
I
like.
flip that. Those are the two I flip back and forth on actually in my rankings. They're like where Gen 1 and Gen 5 are always changes because I have very similar feelings about those games in a very metatextual sense. So they're right next to each other. And I think today I'm willing to put Gen 1 above because I hate this Gen 1 hate and I have to defend it. But above Fire Red and Leaf Green at least.
It's understandable, yeah.
Now let's talk about Black and White 2. Hey, Colo, you've never even touched these ones, right?
I have not played through them, no.
Uh, Let me tell you a secret about Black and White 2, a secret that most of the Pokemon fan base agrees with, as far as I can tell. Secretly, one of the best games they've ever made. Black and White 2 are fucking brilliant. And part of the reason why is because they were the last games on the DS. Like the 3DS had already come out when Black and White 2 came out. So they were designed to be like a swan song to the DS era of Pokemon. And that was done extremely well. They they gave you your cake and they let you eat it too. You got the Unova Pokemon back. They also mixed some old Pokemon in, which is something they didn't do in Black and White. And then the story continues to be very strong. And then there's the World Tournament where you can re-encounter all the old NPCs, all the old fucking gym leaders and champions you've met throughout your many Pokemon journeys. The difficulty curve is done very well, both in the normal game and in the challenge mode. It's the only time we've ever gotten a difficulty select in Pokemon, even though the way you get access to it is fucking archaic. At least it's there, and you can use an action replay to just get it. And Black and White 2 are masterful. I'm not going to tell you to put them at the top of this tier list. I wouldn't even dream of it, actually, because Johto, I still like more in my heart of hearts. I wouldn't put it above Platinum either, but I would argue bottom of S tier.
That's fair. I can't rebuttal anything that you said, so. Mega Evolutions.
X and Y is S tier.
I was gonna put X and Y at A tier.
No, no, my friend. I like
Because
X and Y second best in the whole franchise.
Oras goes up in S tier.
They both should.
Okay. Oras is better than X and Y, but
I disagree. However, I am willing to cop to that. I think they. Yeah, okay. The below Johto though, both below Johto.
that's fine. I stopped ranking and just started putting them in
Just
tiers.
started putting them on there. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like ranking. It adds more of a discussion element to it, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. Oras is what is like. I know we talked about this earlier.
ORAS is what a remake should be. This is what I was talking about.
Oras
ORAS
is
is a
the
game.
purest form of what a remake should be. The
ORAS
purest form. If you compare it to Ruby and Sapphire and then you go to Oras, you are going to absolutely love it. It is amazing. There is so much to do, and the fact that they added so much into it, it's crazy how different of a game it feels.
Exactly. That is why I like ORAS more than Ruby Sapphire and Emerald, whereas other people have the exact opposite opinion of me, where they love Fire Red and Heart Gold and Soul Silver and shit, but they do not like ORAS, which I do not get. Which I do get it, actually. I know why they think it, because in their... I'm not gonna go super... I was about to call them, like, monkey brain or something. Like, I was about to get really mean. But, like... It's just they're like, oh, Fire Red and Leaf Green and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they're good remakes, but they keep all the shit. Whereas Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, what they did, they justified their existence as a remake, which I think literally any remake should do this, or it shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Where it takes the framework of the video game that it's remaking, and it still has all of that in place. However, it does enough to add things and have a different style and make alterations to the story and the aesthetics in a way that justifies its existence as a separate video game.
Yeah.
Hold up. Eviolite, the Eviolite can take a hit.
Hello, Penguin.
Hi, Penguin, and hi, person in the background talking about Eviolites on Penguin's mic.
I'm sorry, it was Alpha Rad.
All right, Penguin, where does Sun and Moon go on the tier list?
She doesn't know where anything else is.
Nope, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters until Sun and Moon.
You're right. That is the best one.
I wouldn't say best one. However, I am willing to say that it is top half for sure. It is actually top 3 for me. Sun and Moon are the third best set of games in my opinion. I think they're completely exemplary. They're amazing experiences. I love them a lot. The Pokedex is great. Like, all the new Pokemon are great additions to the series. The story is well told. Everything is well done. The first 3 hours are agonizing, but like, just buck up, Buttercup. You're in for a great 17 hours of RPG after that.
So the reason I love Sun and Moon is because Sun and Moon is what solidified my personality as Pokemon. So
that's fair. The game does have a very unique personality, and
not even just that, but it was the first game that I went and I pre-ordered. I was ready to play the night it came out. It got me back in. Well, not got me back in, but it solidified the play Pokemon on release every single time. And ever since then, I have played all the games up until then, or since then, I should say. But that was the first time where I was an adult at the time. Or yeah. I was an adult, I spent my own money. I had to plan it out to where I actually had to play it. I was excited to play it because I actually had friends who were playing it at the time. It was the first time since I was a kid where everybody was playing the same game and I felt part of something, because I played XY, Black, X and Y, and ORAS late, which is why I never really felt connected to any of them, which is why Black and White suffers so much in my opinion, just because I wasn't playing with everybody else at the time. But Sun and Moon really brought me back into there, and ever since then I've bought every game on release.
Yeah, playing when other people are playing is definitely it boosts the thing. I have strong good opinions of Scarlet and Violet that I've spread, and I think part of that is just that I played it when it came out. Scarlet and Violet, actually, because I've been either a poor boy or a child every time a Pokemon game has come out throughout my entire existence. Brain kind of turned off for a second. There we go. The reboot was successful. Scarlet and Violet were actually the first games I bought on release day. The first ones that I pre-ordered and played at midnight. That's the first time that's ever happened for me. And I think that might have colored some of my positivity toward it, even though it is a very good game. And Sun and Moon, in terms of where it actually placed on this list, I think S tier for sure. I know you're not ranking them anymore, but I still kind of am, and I want to talk about it for the viewers at home.
I was going to put Sun and Moon in A tier, actually.
Really?
Sun and Moon gives me the same vibes as Emerald.
I think Sun and Moon... So in S tier, at the beginning of A tier we have Emerald, and then at the bottom of S tier we have Black and White 2 and Platinum. I think Sun and Moon are better than Black and White 2 and Platinum. I don't think they go above X and Y and ORAS, but I think they do go above Black and White 2 and Platinum.
Okay.
Personally, for me.
Personally, I would put them in A tier just above Emerald. They're bottom S, but I'm putting them in A. The reasoning is because
you're upset that Emerald's an A because of me, and you don't want things to rank
no. But Sun and Moon was great, but literally a year later, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out. Ultra
That's
Sun and
fair.
Ultra
If
Moon.
that's your reason, and you're putting Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon in S tier, I will perfectly accept that.
Yeah, no, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I have what was the count? 487 hours in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Yeah,
Damn.
yep, I almost hit 500 hours with a Pokemon game. I'm pretty sure I hit that with Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald combined, honestly. But there was no way for you to track how much time you've actually put in back then.
Unfortunately, I've technically not finished Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. What happened was, the first couple years of Alola, I actually was a big hater of Alola.
You
I
still on
was
that
a, I was a,
Necrozma
I was a
possible
big dumb
thing?
boy. What?
You still waiting for Necrozma?
Yeah, I have not picked my. I don't even know where my DS is at this particular moment. I gotta go find it and maybe beat the game. But so I hated Sun and Moon when they first came out, and that hatred continued well past the release of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Only when Penguin bought me one of the games did I play it and enjoy it. But what happened there, where Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were too big for my SD card, so I had to get Vanilla Sun instead of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. But I did really enjoy Vanilla Sun. It was a fucking great game. And now I'm more than halfway through Ultra Moon, and it has also been very good, and improvements have been made for sure. I think I'm willing to say Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are the better experience this far in. And yeah, S tier above Black and White 2 and Platinum.
Definite improvement on Sun and Moon. Really felt like a fully complete game. They could have just did Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and just not done Sun and Moon, and it would have been
Well,
perfect.
you
but
can literally say that about like Emerald and Platinum too. It's just that they decided they could make more money if they split their Emerald and Platinum games.
very, very fair, yeah. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. The
I
very
am the
first
strongest defense
Switch.
soldier of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
So
I love these games.
these games were the first ones that we got. We actually got Gage back into Pokemon. Gage hadn't touched a single Pokemon game since Red and Blue. So Gage went from Red, Blue, Yellow, Gen 1, straight to Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee on the Switch. And it was...
That's a pipeline, bro. That's got to be mind-blowing.
Oh, it was so cool. But, like, ever since then, he's been playing every single game with us.
That's awesome.
But, like, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I didn't play Eevee, so I don't know if there was much difference between it, but, like...
No, it's your usual split version. Like, in one, there's a Pikachu on your shoulder, one, there's an Eevee on your shoulder. There's different exclusives, but they're the same video game.
But, this was, like, the hope for the future of, like, of remakes, where you're just like, well, if you can make Kanto look this good, this adorable, and this cute, it also introduced a whole brand new generation to what Pokemon can be. Because it was aimed at, like, the younger audience. Like, if you compare Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, two vastly different games with vastly
Ultra Sun
different...
and Ultra Moon were made for people who have played Pokemon before. Every Pokemon game, to an extent, is somewhat manufactured with the fact that it will be a kid's first Pokemon game in mind. But that didn't stop them from, to some extent, putting in like features that would be features in like battles and shit that would be more challenging to somebody who is new to the franchise, to the point where it feels like it is kind of made for the experienced player. Whereas Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were definitely made to be baby's first Pokemon game, and I think they succeeded in that very well, and they're also just very charming and beautiful and fun to play.
God, the cinematics in that game were, like, the cutscenes were immaculate.
True. I agree 1,000%. So the thing is, I'm hesitant to put them, like, S tier.
I have them bottom of A.
A tier so far. Bottom of A was literally exactly what I was going to say. So, there you go.
I have them below Sun and Moon and Emerald, but still above Ruby, Sapphire, and everything else in B tier.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect.
But no, I absolutely love them. Very, very easy games. Very easy to pick up too. Very good to shiny hunt in too. That's what like solidified my shiny hunting experience, because ever since then I've shiny hunted in every single game. Just because they made it not super easy, but like not like super time
Manageable.
consuming though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so that was also cool. The fact that you could ride Pokemon, certain Pokemon, was really, really cool. It just overall it was such a massive improvement on Gen 1. Like it is the way to play Gen 1 at this point.
I 1,000% agree. That a lot of people on the internet would vehemently disagree with that. Fuck you. They are the definitive Gen 1 experience, I would say. I don't know if Penguin's still here. I feel like she disagrees with that statement. She's probably just like muted in the call or not here anymore, but that's okay.
No, I absolutely hate Gen 1, but if I did have to play Gen 1, it would be Let's Go.
Okay.
Even though I
Perfect.
didn't
So you
finish it.
agree. So you fully agree with us on everything that we've been talking about. Perfect.
Yes, even though I did not finish it, I agree.
Penguin has endorsed everything that we have talked about this entire 35 minutes.
The whole video.
The whole video. Penguin endorses every opinion that we have had, including all the ones where Riely and I disagree. Penguin endorses
I mean,
both sides.
we have Johto up in top of S tier, and I think Penguin would be very on board with that. So I think she's mostly cool.
Is Johto above Sun and Moon?
Yes.
A lot of
It
things
should.
are above
It
Sun
should
and
not be.
Moon. That's fair. That's fair.
All right, Sword and Shield. The story
Hey,
was absolutely
hey,
fucking
Polo
terrible. However, it was the first instance of introducing a somewhat open world aspect to a Pokemon game, which is what like a lot of people were asking for.
I will give it that. I will give it the attaboy for trying for sure. But Sword and Shield felt like an empty husk of a Pokemon game to me. Like I think they just the amount of like charm and fun that comes with a Pokemon game anytime you just open up a Pokemon game and play it. Sword and Shield, it felt like it was missing to me. I don't get it. Like I played Sword and Shield, they were fine, they were Pokemon games, but like they didn't feel important. Like to make a metaphor that makes sense, I guess. Like I play a lot of Pokemon ROM hacks. And ROM hacks are fun, but usually they don't have the same like magical feeling that a new main series game does, because at the end of the day, fans are great and fans can develop amazing things, but they're not the people who have been making Pokemon for 25 years at fucking Game Freak.
Yeah.
So usually, a real Pokemon game will have more of a sense of magic to me than ROM hack. Sword and Shield felt like an okay ROM hack to me. Like I didn't like them. I think they deserve D tier. If you would like to defend them slightly, I am willing to put them in C tier below Diamond and Pearl.
I'll put them below Diamond and Pearl.
Okay.
It's the fact that they were great games. I loved playing them. I have like 400 plus hours in the game just because of shiny hunting and stuff. It's the storyline. All the other games were like, this dude's gonna blow up the world. You better stop him, little 10-year-old boy. You better stop him, little 10-year-old. Whatever you do, you're gonna be the champion one day. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. Sword and Shield is just like, go have fun. Go do whatever you want. Get out of here.
Yeah, just go fight some gyms. Like I'm Leon, and I'm gonna do all the cool heroes.
Well, I want to be champion. Yeah. Okay. Go battle the first gym. Go have fun. Go catch your little Pokemon. Don't worry about what's going on.
I'm cool. I got
Evil
it.
snake,
Don't
evil
worry.
space snake lizard? No. That's
Fucking
not
hate
your
Leon.
problem.
All my homies hate Leon.
No, it felt like it was hand holding a lot, and it was like, no, you don't get to do what the main protagonist in a Pokemon game does. But we're gonna move on to the very, very, very last game, Arceus.
Wait,
Absolute
I
S
see what you
tier.
did there. I see what the joke is.
Absolute S tier.
Okay, I
S
guess
tier,
we'll talk
S tier,
about-
S tier.
I guess we'll talk about Arceus first. I would agree that Arceus is S tier for sure. It is a
Top
very
of S
good-
tier.
I don't know about top of S tier. Let's not get crazy.
Okay, below
now.
Johto, above Oras.
That I
So,
am willing to go with.
Penguin, just because
That's
you
a
haven't
tall
played the
order.
game, don't shush.
I did play the game. That's what I played.
What was it? Get out of Saffron. Get off the first
I got-
area.
Get off of fucking Mount Coronet.
I got credits in that game. Thank you.
Okay, that's fair. That's farther than I got, just because I'm bad at dedicating time to things. But
Look,
Legends Arceus is good, very innovative. It did the open world thing right, whereas Sword and Shield only quarter-assed it. Arceus is extremely good, and I think it is the definitive Sinnoh experience, which I would be massacred in many circles for saying that. I do prefer it over Platinum, as well as some of the other things in S tier. And I think it is a very good and unique Pokemon experience. I'm glad they made it. I'm glad they got out of their comfort zone and made a video game that was interesting and different. And it worked out extremely well, in my opinion. And Kolo, we do have to talk about the other game, and also Scarlet and Violet, which we're going to pretend is here.
D tier, D tier, D tier, D tier, bottom, terrible, absolute fucking
let me
massacre
speak. Let
of
me
a
speak.
remaster.
Speak, damn it. Okay. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, not great.
Massacred.
Not great video games, but I will argue a little bit better than old Diamond and Pearl.
Nope.
A little bit of a more.
Nope.
Hey, you're saying that having played Platinum. What you're thinking of as Diamond and Pearl is being infected by Platinum. Diamond and Pearl are bad. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are still bad, but less bad than original Diamond and Pearl.
Nope.
So what do you have in D tier right now?
Nothing.
BDSP.
Well, besides, we have nothing in D tier right now.
And you didn't put Diamond and Pearl in D tier?
Diamond and Pearl and Sword and Shield are in C tier.
They're in what?
There's no F tier. There's S, A, B, C, D.
And you put them in B?
C.
C. Okay.
In C right now, it's just Diamond and Pearl and Sword and Shield.
I feel like you should just shift the original garbage for the new garbage.
Okay. You know what? That sounds fair. That sounds fair. I will agree to that. Below Sword and Shield though.
Oh, definitely.
That's fair. They get moved up slightly. That's fair. I'll accept that.
So are we moving Sword and Shield to top of C tier then, and putting Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Diamond and Pearl at the bottom? Then is what we're doing.
No. OG Gen 4 goes in D tier now.
Okay.
BDSP goes below Sword and Shield in C tier.
Okay, that is perfectly acceptable to me. I
Yep.
would argue that Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl are better than Sword and Shield, but I'm not going to have that fight. I'm fully willing to have them where they are.
Nope. It's too slow of a region. It's just terrible. It's bad.
That's not
Not
true.
about-
The region is
the
fine.
The Pokemon are what redeem Diamond and Pearl. That's it. That's the only thing. If we were going solely off the Pokedex for these games, they would be bumped up because the Pokedex is great, and clearly there's one Pokemon that makes or breaks this entire
fire
game.
Pokemon.
Yeah, top 5 fire Pokemon in Sinnoh: Chimchar, Monferno, Infernape,
Ponyta and Rapidash.
That's it. Those are the only 5.
Oh well, I mean, you do have Heatran if you do beat the game.
Oh, yeah.
Fair. Now let's talk about the one that isn't here because this is old, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Where do you think Scarlet and Violet places on this old tier list?
I want to put Scarlet and Violet at top of A.
That is
I don't know about the top of A.
acceptable to me.
I want to put it at top of A or bottom of S tier. I don't feel like it's S tier,
I
but
think it's
just
bottom of A.
because of
Or not
like
bottom of A,
the
top of
story was absolutely phenomenal. The characters had so much personality, and like especially towards the end where like you and your little group of friends are going down, the little banter that they're doing that means absolutely nothing. The banter is great. They have their own personality. It feels like they are their own people in this game, and you're not the only protagonist anymore, and it's great, and it feels like such a complete game. and I legitimately cannot wait to see what they do with the DLC that I have not purchased yet. But
Yeah, that doesn't come out for a while, right? When does that drop?
fall and winter
Next
of this
fall.
year.
Fall and winter. Okay, so we're
We
we're
got a bit. Yeah.
cutting it a little bit close for the fall one. Maybe I should purchase soon.
It's not.
No,
It's
it'll
not.
probably be September.
It's
So
probably going to be September and November
That's
or
true, but
something.
months go by like days for me. So like the fact that it's like 2 or 3 months away means it's soon.
But Scarlet Violet, definitely a massive improvement on what Sword and Shield was expected to be.
And thank God.
It really Scarlet and Violet really like renews that hope in the Pokemon Company and Game Freak of, okay, so you failed at Sword and Shield. You failed at Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. You absolutely hit it out of the fucking park with Arceus, and then you go and release Scarlet and Violet, which is an improvement on Arceus, which you didn't think could happen. It's great. I love the open world concept of it. It does feel
I don't know
slow,
if I
and
would
the
necessarily
Mystic.
call it an improvement on Arceus in a lot of senses, which I guess makes sense because we do have Arceus higher on our tier list, but it's
In
still a
terms
change.
of main series games, Arceus standing alone by itself is phenomenal. I love that game. Scarlet and Violet sitting at the top of A tier, just it feels right. But
For sure. I agree 100%. Scarlet and Violet, extremely good. I was very satisfied with them. And thank God, because I was starting to feel like a crotchety old man Pokemon fan, shitting on all the new stuff, as Sword and Shield were just completely awful and nobody believed me. But so I'm glad that Scarlet and Violet I actually got to enjoy and have a lot of fun with.
all right, well, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Do you want to go over the list?
No, no, I got a video.
Well, I meant like, did you stop it already? Usually at the end, you're like, here's what is in here and in
I
here.
mean, you can see what's here. The video's still
Okay.
going. It's at
Well,
47 minutes worth of talking about Pokemon games right now.
cool, fine, great. Look at it. Don't get it recapped for you in a fun voice, because Cola's too lazy to do that this time.
I am very
So,
lazy to do it. I gotta think of a
I mean,
thumbnail for
I'll
this,
do it
but
right now. It'll take 30 seconds. So D tier we got Diamond and Pearl. C tier we have VDSP and Sword and Shield. B tier we have, I'm going bottom to top by the way, in all senses. Fire Red and Leaf Green, Black and White, Red, Blue and Yellow, and Ruby and Sapphire. A tier we have Let's Go Eevee, Sun and Moon, and Emerald. And S tier we have Black and White 2, Platinum, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, X and Y, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, Legends Arceus, Gold Silver Crystal, and Heart Gold Soul Silver.
yep, that's good. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.